Alright, so this will be the final take. I just want to say before I start that however many parts there are this time, um, as an expedient or skillful means, because I have to head to sleep. Uh, I just want to say beforehand that there will be omissions um, and errors in what I say. Um, so like the messages that I I say here, they will not be complete, but I will try to um, just mention all the important ones because I previously made a vow that I would upload every 6 days, uh, um, for 6 times in a row. So um, yeah, I don't want to miss today. I mean, technically, it's already like the seventh day, but I have all the content ready before the end of, I guess now it was yesterday, before the end of yesterday, because now it's like 12:02 a.m. So technically, I'm just making the videos on the seventh day, but I already had everything done on the sixth day, um, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. Okay, so um, the first part, again in this there will also be 6 points that I mentioned here, as as I did previously. Um, the first point is a quote, which I'll just read from chapter 2 of the Lotus Sutra, titled Expedient Means. Shariputra, you should know that at the start I took a vow, hoping to make all persons equal to me without any distinction between us, and what I long ago hoped for has now been fulfilled. I have converted all living beings and caused them all to enter the Buddha way. Um, I think this is like 100% guaranteed. Uh, no, it's not 100% guaranteed. It is guaranteed. It's not, I think it's guaranteed. It's 100% guaranteed. And I firmly believe in the words of the Buddha, so I believe that what they said here is completely, going to manifest. Like the Buddha basically prophesied this 2,500 or almost 3,000 years ago now, potentially. Um, and yeah, uh, I think as a result, um, in in the decades to come or in the years to come, there will be unimaginable benefits uh, that human beings or beings everywhere across the world will experience. Things that we could never even imagine were possible, and good things they will come to us. Okay. Um, point two. Uh, so I want to talk about Brahma practices or the Brahma Viharas, which are the four aspects of true love in Buddhism, or just say four aspects of love. Um, they are equanimity, compassion, sympathetic joy, and loving kindness. Now, the term Brahma practices show up in chapter 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 15 of the Lotus Sutra, but I just want to, for the sake of time, um, based on what I know and a quick analysis, chapter 15 is among the 14 chapters which are part of the essential teaching in the Lotus Sutra. 15 to chapters 15 to 28, or the latter half of the Lotus Sutra, are the essential teaching, and chapters 1 to 14 of the Lotus Sutra are the theoretical teaching. Um, and so, yeah, the essential teaching is significantly more important, and apparently, like the value of the essential teaching is it cannot be compared to at all. When we observe the theoretical teaching, although I don't fully understand this yet. Um, Anyways, chapter 15 of the Lotus Sutra, and I'll link all of the chapters in the description below. Chapter 15 of the Lotus Sutra says, what does it say? Oh yeah, chapter 15. In chapter 15 of the Lotus Sutra, basically, there are two main practices that me skimming through, I was able to observe. First one is preaching and expounding the, you know, the different sutras and the Buddhist teachings, which also include secular teachings. And the second practice was the Brahma practices, or the Brahma Viharas. Now, these two practices stood out to me as the most important in this chapter, and basically, I was just skimming through it. And this completely covers all the, all the instructions of the Buddha, or all the practices to be carried out by bodhisattvas. Because, in a way, preaching and expounding is in itself Brahma practices, and Brahma practices are, also can also have the effect of preaching and expounding. It's just different means. We can, yeah. So with these two like practices, which are not two different, not two distinct practices, but they're not necessarily the same. Well, you can just consider them to be a complete package, for you know, bodhisattvas in terms of what practices they should carry out. Yeah. And the reason why they are a complete, they what do they both have in common? Preaching and the Brahma Viharas. They hold other beings as objective conditions, because there is so much suffering in the world, much more than we can fathom, and actually this is like our faultless delusion, because there is so much suffering in the world that right now we cannot do that much about, but at least we can try. And I mean, of course, that's what I'm doing here, little by little, what we can do. But the Buddha, in a way, for me, the Buddha is a little bit like God, and you know, basically, the Buddha protects us by not showing to us, or not allowing us to be sensitive to all the suffering that exists in the world. Because if we were to receive all of those, you know, graphic, detailed descriptions, narratives, or images, or know about all these things in full detail of all the sufferings in the world, there is no way we would be able to live. Like, it would be absolutely impossible. Or at the very least, we'd only be crying, constantly, like Avalokiteshvara, and we'd be absolutely immobile from the compassion that we would have for the world, which would also make it impossible for us to help other people in the first place. So yeah, I'll link. I will also put another link, not just the link to this chapter 15, but I also put another link to an article by accesstoinsight.org, which talks about the Brahma Viharas, in, I thought, a very succinct and pithy manner. So yeah, I'll end this video here, and then I'll just record another one for the rest of the points.